Hi, all right. Welcome to my little shop here. So I'm doing a personal tutorial for a sewing member. I forgot the sewing group now. But anyway, she was having problems. She bought a waistcoat for her partner and it's way too big. It's excessively big. So and she just wanted some advice. So she put the photographs of her partner's waistcoat on, and I gave my professional advice as a bespoke tailor and a designer, because I actually make these and pattern cut these, so I know them inside out, how to make them up, and if there's problems with them, how to resolve the issues. Now there's a couple of members on there, well, one member in particular, I don't know her name, I forgot. She'd actually advised her in the wrong way and gave her advice, and I just gave my 2 cents worth to her, saying I think her method and her advice is wrong. And she got a bit of a bee in the bonnet and accused me of being rude, and she's been in the industry 40 years. Well, you can be in the industry 100 years, but if you learnt wrong methods, then forget it. So it's not all about how long you've been in the trade, it's about who you've learnt from and if you've learnt good methods. And I'm sure most of you are aware, I actually upload lots of free tutorials for you, and some of you have actually messaged me personally and I've sent you a tutorial, or sometimes if I've got time, I actually make a video. So in this instance, I'm making a video for this member. As you know, some of you in my sewing group, I help as many of you as I can with my knowledge. If I can help you, if I know what the solution is, what the problem is, I will gladly help you for free, as I'm trying to help the sewing community all over the globe. Now, from what I'm aware, there's no professional in this trade that actually makes special videos for members if they message them. So as far as I know, I'm the only one that really will go out of their way and help an individual. But anyway, so I've been accused of being rude, and that's by just being my kind of. She must be a linguist. She must be an expert linguist. So, and syntax, an expert in syntax, to understand if I've made a comment that how rude I am. But anyway, I'm rude apparently. So, but I have to disagree. I'm a very affable, gregarious chap. And as you know, I try and help anyone. But anyway, hey ho, someone's got to be in a bonnet. What can I do? So anyway, let's get on to this tutorial, which I'm here for. So her partner has got excessive waistcoat. So this one member said she got forward shoulder, all this baloney, which I just totally disagreed with. But anyway, she wanted to put a shoulder dart in here, which is ludicrous, absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, because the shoulder length is too long. But I'm going to show you a good little tip I learnt from a great Italian tailor. But virtually no tailor knows this method, even when they're doing altering when you've got a length, got too long a shoulder. I'm going to just quickly, briefly tell you about that. Anyway, so it's too big in the back, too big in the front, and it was gaping. I'll send some pictures, you'll see it's kind of gaping there. So I just said the easiest way to do is just pin the excesses out on the front and back shoulder. Hopefully you can see that. And then, whatever, it's down to the figuration of the customer or the person. And then just get your chalk and just mark it, so you know it's your reference. Mark front and back, and you know that. Now, she's got to be aware that we're not symmetrical as human beings, and a lot of us have got drop shoulders. So usually it can be on the right hand side. So she'd have to pin the both sides, because there's usually a discrepancy. So always be aware of that. Look at both shoulders. You'll see one shoulder of the person drops. And I've just made a suit for somebody, and dad has a really severe dropped shoulder. So you've got to re-angle the shoulder seams inside the actual shoulder line. But anyway, I won't get into that. But just suffice to say, just pin it and you'll be fine on both sides. Now, the back neck was gaping here, and the shoulder length was too long. It was right on his arm, which in waistcoats you never have it on your arm. So this method this Italian tailor taught me, it's really good. So this will actually take in the whole of the shoulder length. And you can actually pin it 1 inch, you can even pin it 2 inches. It depends, because if that shoulder is falling off the back, that means the back is big as well. So, and on the photograph I've seen, it was gaping there, so I can see the back is too big here. So I'm going to show you a really good little technique here. Tip. So we're taking from them that wedding nape is at the top back. Now, you can actually see this doesn't have a centre back seam. It's fine, we'll actually create a centre back seam. That isn't a problem. Now most waistcoats will have a centre back seam, so it'll be easier for you to actually pin up. But if it doesn't, don't worry. Just gauge where the centre is, and afterwards you can get it accurately where the centre back will be anyway. So pick it up from the top of the neck and take it in. Now taking it in at the neck, actually, it brings in the shoulder. So the more you take it in, the more of that shoulder will be brought in. Now traditionally, if you're going to take in the shoulder, if it's too long, what they do, they'll chalk mark back down the arm side to nothing. Usually it's this area here at the top, and at the back they'll do the same, and then bring that back down to, and they'll physically will trim with one seam for the, when it's been stitched, they'll cut that off, that excess off. You don't need to do that. Doing this method does the same. It actually brings in, see, it brings in the shoulder. See, if you can see, it's actually bringing it in. So the more you take in the back neck, it actually shifts, it brings it in. You don't need to worry, you can see that? So that's the original, but when you actually take in the back, see, that brings it in. Because the whole back is too big, and so you do this when the whole back, because if the shoulder is dropping off the arm, the back is too big as well. So I can see on that customer, this is this problem he's got. So I advise that member to take it from the centre back seam, and all you do is just pin it, and the more you take in, the more that shoulder line will come in anyway, naturally. And you just go down the waistcoat and take it as much down to the customer's figuration or down to her partner's, the way it is, and there we have it. So that has solved the back neck and also has solved the shoulder length, because the more you bring it in, the more the shoulder goes in. So that's one method. And then, as I said, you pin up on both sides here, because remember I was telling you about there's a discrepancy, because some people have a dropped shoulder. A lot of people actually have dropped shoulders. So just pin on both sides and then just mark it. And there we have it. Now for me, if professionally, I wouldn't do that, because some customers will have a longer front, some customers have a longer back, so you can't just really just do that. You can do for a quick fix, that's fine, but if someone's got a bespoke waistcoat, they've spent £1,000 or £600 or £700 or whatever, and it's the top of the range waistcoat, I would do this because it's excess there. Now I think on the photograph the back needs to be shorter, it needs to be cut a lot more than the front section. So what I would do, we call in trade, we call it passing up, but this is a very simplified passing up. It's a bit more technical than this, but I'll show you. So if you've got this excess here, you just pass up the back. So I would actually undo the whole of this seam, the lining in there, and I would actually undo, but I'd undo the whole of this seam here on the shoulder seam, totally, so it's open. Then I'd make sure the waistcoat is buttoned up, put it back on him, then I would actually clear up the front. So I'd actually go up the front and pass it up, and this will be all free. So then I'd pass it up, and once I get a nice clean edge here, because I've passed up all that front, I've got rid of the excess, then what I would do is I would mark my new shoulder line and then cut one seam past it for your seam, and I would do the same for the back. So the back's all gaping up, I would just pass it up here, and then whatever that goes up, it's now you've got the back nice and clean. Then I would mark my new shoulder points here, the new shoulder line, leave one seam and cut that off, and there we have it. And that's how I would do it. But if you want a simple, alteration, then this will suffice. This is okay, just pin it and go inside. Now she was asking, how do you get inside? Well, usually waistcoats are made, they're all bagged out, so it's all one operation. When you stitch in the lining to the four parts, it's all done in one go. Usually on the side seam here, it's usually stitched in. I don't know where it is on here, but I don't want to be wasting my time trying to find it. But usually for me, when I'm making waistcoats, I put it on the side seam here. So you can do the same. So just open up the side seam, just go about 4 or 5 inches, and then you hand file that down afterwards. You hand stitch it afterwards. and that's what you do. So just open it up here and then go into it, and you'll have access up into the shoulder lines, both shoulders, and then the centre back. You can do that as well. So I will do that. Now if you're going to do, if this waistcoat at the back doesn't have a seam, then just undo, go in there and just undo that, the seam inside there, and just open it up, back up. And when you get back through there, when you finish doing the alteration, you just machine stitch that lining of the hem back up. So hopefully that's helped that member. And as you know, I try and help everyone all over the world with my tutorials. If you've got problems, you can come and see me, or just message me, direct message me, and I'll try and help you out. But on that note, I hope that's helped that member, and it's helped some of you. So I'll say ciao for now. See you later.